All right. Welcome to episode 1 of Roommate Casting Couch. I'm Chase Jennewine.
I'm Josh Parrish.
And, I guess,
We'll fucking get started.
I guess we'll just dive right into it here. Episode 1, just to kind of give you some backstory here, we've been looking at getting this podcast started for a while here. It's been,
Fuck. You've been living in this house for over a year and a half now.
Over a year, yeah.
So we've been talking about it well before that, so at least 2 years.
Yeah. This has been a concept in the works for, probably about 2 years now. Finally, kind of things are starting to align. We started to get some better equipment. We started to just kind of, actually put 2 and 2 together, and now we're here. So, actually kind of starting to get things rolling. Whether or not you guys see the video on this podcast or not is kind of a different thing. Ultimately, I don't know about you, but ultimately I'd like to get video involved with these podcasts.
I think the more content, the better, right?
Yeah.
The more shit we get out there, the more likely we are to get a bite, right? We
gotta
change up the bait, dog.
That's very true. Whether you guys are listening to this or watching this, or regardless of how we put it out,
we love you.
We love you.
Intimately. We love you.
Honestly, if you're listening to this, I kind of want to make love to you. I kind of just want to bring you back behind a CVS and just show you what Chase is made out of.
Tinfoil.
That's what Chase is made out of. Fair warning. Fair warning. I'm actually just a tinfoil man.
Yeah, so if you made out of Drano, don't come around.
Yeah, no, you will fuck me up. I'm really not trying to get dissolved in you. Unless that's what you're into.
Yeah, maybe we can work something out.
Yeah, maybe we can work something out.
We'll have to pay off the bouncers.
We'll see how it goes. But yeah, ultimately, this is kind of just a rough draft. If you guys have any comments or suggestions as to either what, I said, whether or not there's video on this or not, but as far as audio goes or format or just kind of structure, any experience you guys have or any comments, just let us know.
Yeah, we're constructive criticism, please.
Constructive criticism,
and it's always welcome. Even if it's harsh, honestly, I don't care. I lost my feelings when I was in 6th grade, I think.
Dude, you're lucky you ever had feelings.
Yeah.
I only have the bad ones now. I guess let's kind of just jump into this and see where it goes. I know one thing I was talking to you about before we started recording was I guess we're just gonna fucking pop into political shit right away, but I'm really fucking sick of just seeing the Mark Kelly ads. I know I mentioned that to you about 10 minutes ago, but they're so repetitive, and all political things aside,
first thing straight, fuck the system right now. No one's really a good choice, so it's not we're bagging on either or, but these fucking ads about this Mark Kelly Biden shit is getting fucking annoying.
It's the same ad and I've noticed that it's consecutively the same ad on one singular platform. I've noticed it's Hulu that's replaying the same ad.
I've seen it on YouTube too.
I have seen them on YouTube also, but I have noticed that Hulu is very bad about back-to-back repetitively playing these fucking Mark Kelly ads. And it's the same ad all the time. It's Mark Kelly flies the red flag on his motorcycle. He sold himself to China. And
it's gotten so bad that we've almost gotten to the point where we might vote for him out of spite.
Honestly,
out of spite.
That's how I'm feeling. I'm just sick of fucking seeing the ads. I'm if I vote for him, will that just fucking end it? I'm sick of fucking seeing the ads. I just want it over with. But
was it NRSC? I think
it was funded by NRSC. But fucking, it's funny though because on Hulu and YouTube's also a really big thing for doing this as well. You see, I haven't seen a single GOP ad on Hulu or YouTube.
Yeah.
It's all been DNC advertisements. And I haven't seen a single GOP ad on either of those fucking streaming platforms. And I don't think we will. because both Hulu and YouTube, I mean, are pretty specifically targeted towards younger.
Well, like, how far away from the election right now? Is July,
August, September, we're like 4 months out.
4 months out. And I mean that. I just don't know if it's just the platforms that we've been remaining on that's just. I don't know. To me, it just seems they're so disconnected from what kind of people are watching what, where, when, and like why almost. Like they're just they're not hitting at all. Like they're not even like they're not getting me to roll one way or the other. They're just pissing me off. The ad themselves.
Which is something that's interesting because if you go back and like I mean like historically look at like political campaigning, but like especially like for example, the 2008 election, was it 2008 when Obama was elected the first time? Yeah, 2008. I mean, that was like the first real election that we have people like running ad campaigns on the internet or like running ad campaigns through cable television.
Yeah.
I mean, like we had it a little bit like in George W. Bush's administration, like during the re-election. Yeah, I was too young to remember that too, but
I mean, I'm 26.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, I'm in my mid-20s as well, but like I still don't remember it all that well because like say like in like 2004, the George W. Bush re-election, I wasn't paying attention to those sort of things during the re-election. Like no. The 2008 election was the first election that like I actually started paying attention to like some of the ad campaigns, some of like the actual like literature that was coming out about like specific candidates and that sort of thing. And I mean that's just obviously kind of grown since then. But
I was in 7th grade when our social studies, I believe it was a social studies class, but our teacher she had the class divide up and like kind of pick everybody's like candidate, and then we had to start doing research about it, and that was when I first kind of like, I mean, I guess gears started moving in my head, understanding the process.
You're like
per se, but like it was almost like right away I just started picking it up. I was just like how are you gonna pick any like single person? Like it just because any like they got pros and cons to everybody.
Exactly.
And it just I don't know.
I mean, and we're kind of at a point right now where it's not even looking at pros and cons. At this point, it's kind of just looking at, like, the fucking least evil of candidates, which is terrible to say because I know I'll probably end up getting a lot of backlash for that. But
well, no, I mean...
I feel like that's how, like, a good majority of people feel, though.
Well, yeah, I do think so. I've had a lot of people talking about, like, I mean, we live in a red state, so I've met a lot of people who voted for our current president and stuff, and what they told me their reasoning behind was they thought they were choosing the lesser of the two evils. And
yeah, and that's exactly how this election is going to go too.
And that's what sucks about it. Like where is the JFK's, like who, like where's that like shining like poster boy almost, like but
it's also funny.
choosing lesser of the two evils is still choosing evil at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, that's exactly correct. It's still choosing evil. What's funny, though, is like with Trump, I mean, we have in office right now one of our most documented presidents on the history of Earth. Yeah. I mean, this guy has been documented on television his entire life, essentially. And if not on television, he's been documented in some form or another because of his family name. His entire life has been documented. But if we look at Biden, too, I mean, that's an extremely well-documented man. Like,
yeah.
There is a lot of shit that's been documented.
Career politician.
Yeah, I mean,
so
a career politician.
He's been in the public spotlight, like, practically his whole life.
Exactly. And that's another thing that, like, if you're looking at this election, I mean, I'm not even going to include Kanye West in like this
fucking wild card,
conversation. Bro. I'm just looking at this as
vote Kanye West or draw 25. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm just looking at this like a Trump v. Biden type situation, and I mean, we have two extremely well documented people that are running for office, and I mean, unfortunately, a lot of these two people's documentation that's been like in public media and public spotlight has been very negative media.
Well, and that's the thing, like, in, like, the Mark Kelly ads, like, what we're talking about, like, those ads, they're not highlighting why you should vote for this person, but rather they're highlighting why you shouldn't vote for the other person. Like, let's not even talk about, like, how we're gonna move on, but let's just talk about how shitty of a fucking human being this other person is. Like, it's not how we should be, like, going about each other. Like, and I mean, we break it down even to, like, smaller social circles and, like, families or, like, friends and stuff. Like, you can almost see it turning into that too. Like, it's just kind of how we operate. Like, the as above, so below kind of shit. Like, it's reflecting upon itself. We have other troubles going on.
Yeah, and I mean, ultimately, that's what should be in the public spotlight is, hey, this is what this candidate's plans are to reform the issue that we're in. I mean, like,
I'm not seeing any solutions.
I mean, in 2020 is a fucking shit show.
Oh boy, it's a shit show.
Like, it just progressively gets fucking worse. And it's funny if you go back like to like 2000, I think it was like around 2012 when like everybody was talking about that it gets better. Like, all those YouTube videos were coming out with, like, people holding the signs that, like, it gets better. And then 2020 hits, and we're in July. We're in the 7th month of 2020. And I'm sitting here like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't get better. Shit just keeps fucking getting worse.
At least it seems that way.
It seems that way, though, but, like, I've talked with a lot of people, and, like, not only in a political climate is it just keep getting worse, like, it's also just, like, everybody that I've talked to feels like their personal life is just fucking going downhill, too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely with, like, the pandemic currently going on, I don't know at this point in time. Like, I mean, I just traveled up out of state and stuff. Like, here in Arizona, like, it's bad. It's really bad, and you can see it. Like, you can't walk anywhere. You can't see anything without anybody having, like, a mask required. But my point being is that the pandemic and, like, the COVID situation has definitely not helped at all. Like,
it definitely hasn't helped whatsoever. I mean, you know me, like, I have a lot of friends that are out of state. Yeah. A good majority of my friends are in Colorado, but I have friends all across the continental U.S., and I have friends that are even overseas internationally. And, I mean, you were out here the other day when I was talking with my friend who lives out in India. Yeah. And, I mean, he was even saying it's really bad out there. And, like, I mean, we're definitely kind of in the epicenter of it all here in Arizona because, I mean, obviously our state
Number one, baby!
I mean, our state has really not taken any proper preventative measures to kind of...
And not only that, but also the attitude here, I think, goes a long way. Like, if we do get some kind of instruction, we still have a lot of, let's say, like, quote-unquote, like, independent thinkers almost, I guess. Not even quite the right
We term, have ASU and U of A here, which is a good majority of our population who is just extreme woke individuals.
And everybody, like, in the state, though, is just so quick to throw out the fucking middle finger, though. And just say, fuck you, like, you know.
But I mean, historically, that's what Arizona has been. That has been Arizona historically, just like, I mean, since joining the Union, is Arizona has been the Wild West. It's been, fuck you, we're Arizona, we're gonna do what we want to. But I mean, as like a global pandemic perspective, it's obviously not working.
No. And just to add, like, who the fuck lives here? Why the fuck do we still live here? Like, what motherfucker was traveling across the fucking continental U.S. and was just like, 120 degrees?
Let's do it.
Let's set up fucking shop here.
Let's do it right here.
Fuck.
Like, you go up to, like, I mean, it makes sense, like, as far as, like, the gold rush and everything goes. But, like, I mean, if you look at, like, some of, like, Arizona's, like, earliest settlers, like, outside of, like, you know, like, indigenous people to this area, but, like, if you look at, like, some of, like, the settlers that were coming over, like, in the gold rush and stuff, a lot of the people that, like, initially set up camp here either went the wrong way or they got sick.
Or they probably showed up in the winter.
Or they showed up in the winter. Yeah.
It was banger.
They're like,
Winters are banger here.
holy shit, there's no snow here where it's 70 degrees out.
You go up a fucking mile, like, in any direction, and then you're freezing your ass off.
Yeah, exactly. But
well, except south. You'll just keep sweating.
Yeah, if you keep going south, you're just going to keep sweating. It doesn't
stop.
It doesn't get better.
No.
Full circle. It does not get better.
We'll stop that one there.
It does not get better. That would be people ask me, like, hey, like, if you could go back and tell your younger self something, what would you tell him? It does not get better.
It doesn't get better? I would go back and tell myself, buy the Bitcoin.
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 Yeah, see, I did that, and I made the mistake of selling it off way too early.
Told you. I told you, did I not?
You did.
I told you, dude. I told you it was gonna, like, double, and then not only was I wrong,
because I sold off
it, like, quadrupled what I thought.
I sold off at, like, $3,000.
Yeah. Fucking, I remember that. At that time, you had, what, it was like 14 Bitcoin at that time, I think.
Yeah,
because you already sold off like half of it.
Yeah, I peaked at 24.
When it was like $300.
Yeah, I peaked at like 24.8, I think. Yeah. I'm still sitting on a lot of crypto.
Yeah. Well, it's all just, I don't know, dude. That was the fucking time, though. Like,
yeah, it was, because it was the fucking groundbreaking crypto. It was the first blockchain in existence.
Yeah. And it just started getting popular, and people, oh, you could buy it and use it.
Yeah. And see, I mined my Bitcoin. I got my Bitcoin fucking tried and true, got it from the source. I mined my Bitcoin. I remember I was probably 15, 16 years old, sitting in my room on the phone with my uncle. Hey, this Bitcoin thing, is it real? He's like, yeah, man, you need to go for it. You need to set up a mining rig. And at this point, I was still involved in all of like the cybersecurity stuff that I used to be involved with. And I just had I probably had maybe like $20,000 worth of computer equipment just like laying around my room at any given time.
Yeah.
And he's like, you need to build a mining rig. You need to build a mining rig. And I was like, send me some specs of your mining rig and I'll duplicate it. I was like, if I don't have the parts, I can get them. Send me the specs of your mining rig and I'll duplicate it. He emailed it over to me. Within probably 6 hours, I had a mining rig built. And I just started running it 24/7.
Yeah.
I just started running it 24/7, and I mean, anybody that's mined crypto knows this, but it's a very slow process.
Oh yeah, no,
it's an extremely slow process. So
and correct me if I'm wrong, but essentially, I mean, we'll kind of break down crypto if you're new to it or don't even know what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but essentially, when you're mining, you're setting up a computer dedicated to monitor other transactions that are using that algorithm per se, like using Bitcoin. So
yeah.
So when another computer does a transaction with Bitcoin, that information gets set off to miners, and those miners verify that information to make sure that it's an authentic transaction, and then they get rewarded for their service of monitoring. And that's what mining is, right?
With some cryptos, yes.
Well, Bitcoin.
Bitcoin in the beginning. So Bitcoin in the beginning was basically running an algorithm over and over and over again in a repository until you find something that is actually specified on that blockchain. So it wasn't based off of transactions in the beginning with Bitcoin. And I mean, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how I understand it.
They're gonna correct you if we're wrong.
They're
gonna correct us.
Peer-to-peer transaction checks were actually introduced a lot later in the blockchain. Mm-hmm. I mean, initially it was running algorithms on a repository to repository to repository.
Okay.
And it was traditional mining. That's why it's called mining.
Okay, because they were just solving the math equation.
Exactly. I mean, you're just basically running a script that runs this algorithm over and over and over and over and over 24/7.
disregard the things I said in the last 3 minutes.
No, but you're completely right. I mean, that is how that is how a lot of cryptos are run today. Okay. Is people that check transactions for legitimacy are actually rewarded.
And that's how you can't fake it, because everybody's all like, "Oh, can't you just make it up?" No, you can't just.
No, I mean everything's specified on a blockchain, and everything's recorded.
Rid of currencies. We need to fucking figure this shit out.
Yeah.
Because the U.S. dollar already failed once, it's gonna fail again. It's literally only a matter of time.
I was thinking about going out and just fucking taking out a bunch of mortgages.
Well, like, dude, okay, so we have a fucking like a national change shortage right now. So we have motherfuckers sitting at their house digging holes in their backyard, just burying change or something. Like, where's it going? Are the feds doing it? Are they digging holes? They're the ones making it.
Yeah.
I don't fucking get it. Well, it's actually not the feds. It's the Federal Reserve, which isn't even a government thing. It's their own fucking private bullshit.
Yeah. Hey, have you ever toured a mint?
A mint? Like where they make it?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
It's interesting.
I've never had an opportunity to.
I've toured the Denver Mint a few times. I toured the Denver Mint.
We got one here in Arizona?
No, it's...
Of course not. Why would you trust us?
There's one on the East Coast, there's one in Denver, and then there's a third one, I believe, that makes primarily coins. Mm-hmm. But, like, most of... Like, I know almost all of the quarters come out of the Denver Mint.
Quarters?
Yeah.
Cool. Quarters are cool.
The Denver Mint is super interesting. And you can just go in and tour it.
How much are they spending making new dies to make all these fancy quarters?
That's a great question.
That's our federal tax money, no? Or
I don't know. The Federal Reserve's privately funded.
No, I know. But, I mean, like... Somebody's got to pay for those dies. Those fucks. I didn't make no vote on that. I didn't need fancy buffaloes on the back of my nickels.
Yeah, they're kind of cool, though. They're buffafos.
Buffafos?
They're buffafos.
Buffafos?
They're buffafos.
Actually, no, I got a couple hobo nickels.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
That's
now we're talking about it, which
neat.
is illegal to deface.
It is.
But I got them. I didn't make them.
Which is interesting because, yeah, that's actually a federal offense to deface U.S. currency. But it's funny.
It's art, it's okay.
But you go to any, like, national park or, like, any national monument, and they have those machines that you put, like, 2 quarters and a penny in, and then they...
No. I remember that. I thought about defacing it, but there is something about that... Fuck, I can't remember which law. There's some law about it that makes that allowed. They're allowed to do it if it gets turned, like, fuck, I can't remember what it is.
And I've only ever seen those machines at, like, national parks. Or, like something
amusement
that's...
parks, like Disney Park, like Disneyland.
Disney has
fucking, like, 9 of them or something.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna be like, no, it's fucking 10.
It's
12.
It's 12 of them.
And there's a hidden one behind the roll. Whatever, dude.
Yeah, if you're a Disney nerd, you should probably just stop listening
Apparently
to our podcast.
Disney, yeah.
You should
like, hang on, moment of silence for those listening. Alright, now that they're gone.
It's like those posts on Facebook or, like, whatever social medias that are, like, they're specifically, like, only guys will get this, and then it will be, like, a bunch of, like, mechanic pictures, and then, like, 4 pictures down, it will just be pictures of, like, hot girls in bikinis and stuff, and, like, it will just be, like, because it's, like, weeding the girls out. At first, it's, like... How to change your radiator, and it's like the first 4 steps of it, and it's like, okay, now that we got the girls out of here, and it's just like pictures of bikinis and stuff. I've been fucking cracking up at those.
But with the Disney thing, I was reading something on the internet that was saying that Disney's corporate offices are still closed, but they opened up their theme parks.
Interesting.
How the fuck and what the fuck? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, they're not even gonna go create, like, another fucking product, like, or, like, something that's just gonna keep, I guess, the ball rolling.
Like their movie franchise or their toy franchises.
Something, I don't know. Like, and I mean, not a huge fan of Disney. Like, they just, fucking lobbyists and shit. They got way too much fucking... I don't know. They're fucking lawyers, man. They're fucking Disney lawyers.
Yeah, apparently Disneyland in China is open. I honestly haven't seen any of the COVID statistics from China recently, though.
Yeah, like, if you could believe
If you could believe any of them that actually
if anybody
are reported.
believes any of the fucking information coming out of China, you could also leave. You don't need to be listening to this podcast.
I don't know, man. Moment of silence. All right, now that we got those motherfuckers out of here,
Yeah,
too.
now that I thought about it, though, like, come back, though. Since we're just getting started out, we need the views.
Yeah.
Come back.
Yeah, no, come back.
We're sorry, we take that back.
None of us actually want you gone. Can you please
Yeah.
come back?
If we could get it to the point to where, like, you love to hate us, I think we'll be really good here.
I think that's what most of our friend group is.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Yeah.
People just love to hate me.
I hate to love you.
Hey, man, I love you too. It's a bromance section. But yeah, I mean, what else has been going on recently? I mean, like, jobs are still shut down. A lot of people are still working from home.
Yeah, I'm doing this podcast because I'm unemployed.
Yeah.
So if you want to go over to our Patreon that we haven't fucking even set up or anything.
I think we should have a Patreon set up by the time that this gets released.
Sure, why not?
Though.
Fuck it. YOLO. Like, just give us a fucking quarter. I don't care.
Yeah.
At least.
No, we'll set up a Patreon with, like, 3 different pay scales. I'm thinking, like, maybe, like, $1, $3, and $5 or something.
Fucking anything. Dude, honestly, I'm not... Obviously, this first podcast is going to be super shitty. Like,
It's
so
gonna kind of be all over
if you're
the
hanging
place,
in
but-
there, fucking props to you.
Yeah, props to you for still fucking staying here. But,
But no, we'll get something fucking rolling around.
we'll get something started up. I mean, obviously, what you're listening to is obviously posted here on YouTube. So, I mean, honestly, like, growth is what we're looking for, and then...
Yeah. No, and we're not... It's honestly not even about money. It's just more so about, like we said, like, we've been talking about doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Chase and I think we both agree we have a good chemistry. Like, when we talk and stuff, we could definitely feed off each other.
Go for
and,
hours
and
and
just
hours
fucking
and
talk.
hours.
Yeah, like,
And-
we started talking about Mark Kelly ads.
Yeah.
Fuck, look at us now. We're fucking telling Disney lovers to get the fuck out of here.
No, I think that was kind of like the birth of this podcast, though, was, I mean, for people that don't know Josh and I mean, we've known each other for years, and we've always kind of just talked about, like, hey, when we get into these conversations, like, it kind of started out as a joke. Like, somebody should be recording us.
Yeah. Well, that was, like, even before podcasting was, like, big almost.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. It was just like, oh, what if someone was recording us? And then
You were living in Colorado and shit. The only way I'd be able to talk to you on the phone was, like, for anything. And, like, I'd call you up or you'd call me up for, like, one simple fucking question. And
Yeah.
next thing you know, fucking hour, 30 minutes gone by. So it's like, why the fuck?
Yeah.
And, like, and there's plenty of content and stuff. But, I mean, the joke bones aren't too fucking good today. Otherwise,
so, I mean,
I
it's...
think we're funny.
So I was kind of telling you about this, but for the listeners that haven't heard about this yet, one of my really good friends who, definitely one of my best friends, he recently started a clothing brand, Ritual Magic Fabrics. But something him and I were talking about, which I actually kind of feel the same way about Arizona, and I was telling you kind of about this 2 nights ago when him and I were talking, was like, it's kind of weird to, like, see, like, almost like the reunification of people. Like, Arizona's definitely one of those places, but for you guys listening, like, I'll tell you what I was talking about him with, is kind of like Colorado kind of just acted as, even though I was only there for 5 years and he was only there for 4 or 5 years as well, like, everybody kind of came and left at the same time. But it's crazy that, like, we all kind of have, like, these mutual ideas and, like, mutual, like, spiritual connection. And, like, we were talking about doing a reunion here at some point for it, but, like, I feel like Arizona is actually kind of the same thing, because, at least for me, because I left for 5 years and then I came back and it was, like, exactly the same as when I left, other than the fact that we were all a lot more spiritually enlightened.
Yeah. And I mean, that's almost a good segue to get into, too. Like, just coincidences and how, like...
Yeah.
Even how the fuck, like, we ended up hanging out and, like, how we're fucking living in the same house. Like, if you asked me, like, in high school, like,
yeah.
I would have fucking laughed.
I know, right? It's crazy. Like,
we were friends, don't get me wrong, but I never would have thought, like, hey, when you guys are in your mid-20s...
You're gonna be living together. Yeah.
Like, no way. But
no, my answer to that question back in high school was a lot different because I started Zoom collaborations when I was 17. No, 16. I started Zoom collaborations when I was 16. And that question asked to me, say, 10 years ago, or... 8 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever, that question, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Yeah.
Is a lot different
than how it actually
panned out. And I'm not complaining. I'm extremely happy with how things panned out. It's just kind of interesting to see the dichotomy of the two things. Like, if you were asked 10 years ago, what would have been your answer?
Dude, 10 years ago, I thought I was going to be a fucking doctor by now.
Yeah.
Like, nope. Like, fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck. I thought I was going to be a fucking doctor.
Yeah. 10 years ago, I thought I would have still been running Zoom collaborations. I thought we would have been built out to be like a huge company now.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, that's not how it worked out. That didn't work out. I mean, and you just, like, that's part of life. You find alternatives.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's kind of where, that was the breaking point when Zoom ended for me, when that period of my life ended. I mean, we tried for a little bit to, like, try to get it up and going again. But, I mean, at that point, that's just kind of part of life. Like, things change. At that point in my life, also, I dropped out of college. I thought, hey, you're 19 years old, let's just party and do whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, so I did 2 years of the, like, hey, I live in a college town still, let's party. And, like, I mean, you meet interesting people. You meet people that are, like, fairly similar as far as mindset goes. And, like, I mean, that will happen in any college town when you're 19 years old.
Yeah, and, well, I mean, they say, like, opposites attract and stuff, too, but, like, also, like-mindedness goes a long way as well.
Yeah, it definitely does. And then got my first corporate job, and then was like, guess what? This is fucking game over, and now I'm stuck in corporate America.
Honestly, I just got this was my first job. Well, I don't even know what to fucking call it anymore. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, like,
what
I've
you were
only had
doing
one corporate job.
Pre-COVID is how we can refer to it.
Yeah, pre-COVID fucking. But yeah, no. Like, I've always been kind of a trades kind of guy and stuff, but.
Yeah.
Like.
Which, I mean, is extremely respectable.
I'd like to think so. But.
Because the only trade work I ever did, and wasn't even trade work, was working pest control.
Mm.
Which, I mean, I guess it is trade work. There's a lot you need to know to be a pest control technician.
Well, there's a shit ton of chemicals. You don't want to get that shit. And, like, you want to know what they do.
You're constantly under watch from the EPA.
Oh, yeah. EPA loves to fuck those guys.
Oh, yeah.
I had no lube. Just fucking straight little fucking tight little girl.
It's crazy because you always think of, like, getting pulled over by the cops. Like, if you're getting pulled over, that's who you expect to get pulled over by, is the cops.
Yeah.
No, I got pulled over by the EPA all the time. And they would literally test, like, on the spot, my chemical mixtures. They would basically give me a quiz. Like, it was like a 30-question quiz on, like, making sure I knew my chemicals, that I had the book.
They give you a little shitty video to watch?
No. You have to carry around a book, though, that's quite legitimately, like, 8 inches thick.
Jesus.
And it has all of the fucking, like, labels required by federal law on these chemicals in it. If you're carrying any of these chemicals that don't have a label on it, they immediately confiscated it. You got, like, revoked from doing pest control for, like, a week. Like, so you need to make sure that, like, your shit's on par all the time. And on top of that, if you mix your own chemicals at your house, which you can do.
That sounds sketchy in the first place.
No. So
if I was EPA and I found out you were mixing chemicals at your house, I would quiz the fuck out of you.
So you have a basically a pickup truck with like a big ass water tank in the back.
Yeah.
And you basically mix your chemicals in that and fill it up with water. Mm-hmm. You can do that at your house. Like, from federal law, you can do that at your house. But the EPA will, like, at 6 in the morning, like, they'll realize, like, when you're doing, like, mixing your chemicals, like, 5:30 to 6 in the morning to get out there on your route.
Yeah.
And they'll do drive-bys by your house to making sure you're wearing long sleeves, gloves, eye protection.
That's because they care.
Yeah, well, they care.
Well, okay, question, though. Is EPA even a thing anymore?
I don't know. Are they?
I thought I remember reading something about fucking our current president.
I was doing
the kibosh.
I was doing pest control back in like 2016.
Yeah. Even then, fucking, I don't know.
I guess it was like right after the first Trump election. Yeah, 2016. Yeah, it was like right after the first Trump election.
Oh fuck! I feel like 2016 was just yesterday.
I do too, man. I feel like that's part of getting older, though, too. Is, like, years start to just fucking fly by. I feel like it was just New Year's.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's July.
Yeah. Honestly.
We're past the halfway point of this year.
Time's relative, you know.
It is relative. It's just weird, though, to see, like, and it's crazy because my mom told me this when I was younger. She was like, enjoy the time when you have it because, like, time just starts to fly by.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of really starting to realize what she meant by that.
Everybody that's older than us hates us right now.
Yeah, probably. They're like, I'm 65 and I remember 28 like I was yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, but we're just starting to feel it. We're at the age right now that we're just starting to feel like the kind of, like, aging thing.
Well, our brain is just finished developing.
Yeah.
So I wonder, I don't know. Maybe that has something to
do with it. It's not only like the time thing. Like, you and I were talking about it the other day. Like, if we get hurt now, we're like actually hurt.
Yeah.
So
here it comes. We had to take the dog for a walk. We were walking the dog. It was my girlfriend, Chase, and I. And
his girlfriend, comma, Chase. And him. Not his girlfriend, Chase. Maybe his girlfriend, Chase.
Is it my girlfriend, Chase? I don't know. Okay, so my girlfriend, me, and Chase? That sounds like shit. Anyway.
Us three.
We were walking down. We have a little park just a little bit north from where we live. And we were walking in the park. And Mr. Daredevil over here decided... I'm comfortable enough on a bicycle. I'm going to try a little trick.
Alright, a little background. I grew up riding moto. I grew up riding BMX. You know that saying that's like, it's like riding a bicycle?
That only goes so far. Apparently, there is a limit on how much riding a bike you will remember and retain.
I can still ride a bicycle.
But not like you used to.
Not like I used to. The actual act of riding a bicycle, I'm still fairly comfortable with.
Yeah. The balance of it, I think, is just the only thing you retain. So, like, if you're into tricks and stuff and you think you're just going to put it down and get back into it,
don't do that.
That's not the case.
Please, for the love of God, please do not fucking do that. Because that's where this leads to.
Yeah. I mean... I'll share my experience of it, and I'm sure Chase would be more than happy to share his experience of it. But we were hanging out at the park. We sat down. We were catching our breath, and we were getting ready to leave. And I just hear this fucking chain just start a fucking whizzing up, and then fucking I look to my left, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this guy fucking flying, and then on the ground instantly. instantly on the fucking ground.
It was like a fucking snap of a finger. It was like normal, out.
He did nothing to save himself.
There was nothing I could have done. I'm pretty sure that's the fastest I've ever hit the ground.
Dude, like gravity doesn't even pull that hard. I don't know how you fell so fast.
So, okay, from my perspective, we're at the park. We're having a good time. We were playing Pokemon Go. And
I didn't want to tell him that. I'm kidding.
I mean, we were just at the park. The park up the street from us has a couple of Pokestops, and you know, we're doing our thing
with the dog,
and I'm in the mindset, hey, I'm feeling pretty comfortable on this bike. I used to hit some pretty gnarly jumps and stuff on a bike, and like I said, I grew up riding moto. I feel pretty comfortable in the air. There's this little gap at this park. It's just kind of like two divots, and then there was like a little like landing area between the two, and I was like, I'm just gonna like bunny hop over it manual and then like jump over the second crack. Yeah, that's not what happened at all. Apparently I'm not good on a bike anymore. I jumped over the first crack, manualed, immediately looped out, and I hit the ground with the force of 1,000 kisses.
1,000 kisses.
That's a lot of force.
Are we talking like Hershey kisses?
No. Like grandma kisses.
Oh shit. Those are
strongest kisses.
Those are strong kisses.
And there was no saving it. It was, like I said, there was no saving. There was no putting my arm out or trying to roll away from it.
Nothing to help himself.
It was flat on my back.
Straight ass.
It was top of my ass. And to make it worse, I had gone on that like 10-mile hike like a week earlier and fell and landed on a rock on my tailbone previous to that too.
So it was already damaged.
It was already sore, and then I fell straight on my back. And so I'm the only one on a bike. Josh and his girlfriend were walking. And I was like, I'll see you guys at home. Peace. I was like, I tried to play it off initially, like, no, I'm good. I'm good. On top of that, I kind of got the wind knocked out of me.
Oh, yeah. I could tell.
And
I could tell, dude. I was laughing my ass off literally from the point you fell all the way home. And when I opened the door, it was just all over again laughing, dude. I fucking opened the door and your ass was sitting right here, fucking laid out like,
I was literally moaning. It hurt so bad. I was laying right here just, like, it hurt so bad to even just move a centimeter. Like,
have you even gotten it checked? Did you go to a chiropractor?
No.
Or fucking anything?
No.
How does it feel to this day?
It still hurts.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Like, not like it's not like a like hurt anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's more just like constantly sore.
And it's been what, 3-4 months maybe?
No, it's been like maybe 2 months.
Are you sure?
A month and a half, 2 months.
Are you sure?
Maybe it's been a little longer than that.
Yeah, I think it's been a little longer than that. I think it's been around the 3-month mark. Like, because it was like relative, like it was still tolerable outside.
It was still tolerable outside. It was actually kind of chilly when we went out there. Yeah, it might have been a few months ago.
Yeah, dude.
It's not like,
dude, you're gonna stunt your growth.
Oh no. It's not like a hurting pain anymore. Mm-hmm. It's just more of a, I'm getting old and that pain is just kind of always there. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just a constant thing I have to deal with the rest of my life. Go switch it out. The one I just fucking opened is warm too.
How you gonna drink this shit? You can't drink this shit when the mountains ain't blue. Everybody knows that.
Mountains are kind of blue. They're like borderline blue.
I better drink it quick then.
Yeah, I just opened this one and it's warm.
Oh, Jesus.
But
I need to quit, like, honestly, I'm sorry for anybody who's like religious out there. I have been saying Jesus quite a lot lately, and like it's starting to peeve me out. And I think that's saying a lot. And in the future, you'll find out that I guess means something.
Yeah. I don't know. I've said like kind of my whole life. I've said like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Or like Jesus Christ. If like something scares me.
Yeah.
I don't really say like Jesus all that often. It's kind of weird how that turned into like a slang word.
Jesus. It like
Jesus.
What's that even?
Oh Jesus.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ Almighty.
Like I mean, but I get like what the? Yeah, what does that even mean? Like, are you calling?
I think it started from like a miracle would happen, like what I don't. Anyone has their own definition of a miracle, but like
you falling on your back was not a miracle.
That was not a miracle whatsoever. That was an act of Satan. that was a straight act of Satan.
Oh.
No, but
it
I think
made me laugh.
Yeah, well,
so
that's what Satan does.
He's a funny guy.
Satan's a funny guy.
I don't know, dude. I think God's the one making the funny jokes on us.
Is he just rolling a D12?
Yeah, no, he's rolling. Yeah, he's
just
rolling a couple D12s.
Can I get a perception check on if Jesus falling on his ass was funny? Also, since we really haven't advertised it yet, I guess we can advertise it right now since it's actually turning into a real thing. We are also going to be starting a D&D podcast.
So turn into that. How far are we into this?
It's not on seconds. It's on bars.
What the fuck is that?
It's bars.
What does bars even mean? You dropping bars, bro?
You want to hear these bars, dude?
There's no timer at all.
There's no timer. It goes on bars. I think that there might be a way to change it.
How long is a bar? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 seconds is a bar?
1, 2.
I don't know. We're counting bars.
It's 4 seconds, I'm pretty sure. I honestly don't know what beat per second I'm on right now.
Okay.
But what was I gonna say? There was something I was gonna say. Oh yeah,
D12 podcast. Not D12.
Oh yeah,
but
D12 podcast.
Yeah.
No, we're actually working right now. And now that I can actually announce it because it's becoming more and more real.
We're gonna be doing a D&D podcast.
D&D podcast. Our good friend Nathan is gonna be acting as DM. It's gonna be Nathan, us, and
a couple other friends.
3 other friends, yeah, that are going to be involved with it. I think it should be a lot of fun. That podcast is going to be audio only.
Yeah.
Not audio only. I think that there's going to be screen caps on it.
Probably
I think like dice rolls and stuff like that. But we're doing everything virtually because we're the only 2 people in Arizona that are participating in this podcast. But
we'll get you some links or whatever wherever we decide to fucking post this so you can come find it. So if you are interested in such a thing and I don't know, I guess if you like hearing our lovely voices, feel free to come and smooth. Anyway,
welcome to CHLD, the only channel specifically designated to smooth rockin', smooth sailing, and smooth jazz.
And also none of that.
You know,
maybe.
Fuck that. I like the F word too much.
Yeah, I do like the F word too much. That and the C word. Dare I say it? Cunt.
Oh.
There we go.
It feels good to get it off your chest every once in a while. I feel like that's a word that just like fucking builds up, like like it just keeps building up inside of you, and you're like, I gotta say it, I gotta say it, I gotta say it, I gotta say it. Cunt. Okay, God, I feel better now.
That's the only, like, I wish I was an Australian just so I could have that in my normal vocabulary of cunt. Oh,
yeah, like
it rolls off the tongue. I
Us-
can't understand why people do not like it.
like Australian English, English, and then like those are both two acceptable forms of English that's like allowed in. American English, like, no.
What's the word for it? Not.
Imperial English, not imperial.
It's just American.
American.
Yeah, I've
English.
been just referred to as American.
I don't know about you, brother, but I speak American.
I speak American.
I speak. If you don't speak American, I speak American.
I speak American.
Hey, you're my American brother. But yeah, I think probably right here is probably a pretty
I say fuck it.
good place to call it for our first episode.
We rambled on for long enough now, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fucking start. We'll see. Like, fucking,
Like I said earlier, let us know like any feedback
like, what you think and
that
stuff.
you have.
And, like, we're sorry. Like, if you made it to this point, we're sorry. Like, you're a trooper, and we praise you. We're proud of you. You've done a great job.
This is our BP moment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. But,
We're sorry.
no, it's quite amazing. Honestly, like, it's just, like we said, rough draft. It'll get better. Stick around. We promise it'll get better.
We promise it will get better.
It'll-
I think right now, I mean, we'll have to kind of discuss this off air a little bit too. But maybe once a week uploads.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we've both talked about, and I think
Yeah.
we're both game for that. So if we could get once a week podcast out here, I think we'll be doing good. Because, like, especially if it's not consistent, and I think the most important thing is that we get content out there.
Definitely.
So
Yeah, so
it'll
stay
be
tuned.
worth your time.
I'm either going to
Maybe.
upload this on Wednesday or Thursday.
Sure.
And then, I don't know, I think Mondays are a good day to record on.
Yeah, fuck it.
So-
Well, we're not even going to record on Mondays. We're recording on Thursdays because it'll be Thursdays.
Yeah.
Or not. Or maybe it will.
Or maybe it will. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
And maybe you'll get to meet Quantum Josh where it is and isn't all at the same time.
All right. Well, friends, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you all very much.
Roommate's casting couch with Chase and Josh, or Josh and Chase. We'll figure out which one comes first.
I don't think it matters.
But all right.
Bye.